There was a time when I had to call my mother, and I told her, I said, I lost my sight. And she immediately says to me, well, son, you've lost your sight. That's God's plan. I didn't raise you to be a weakling. So what are you going to do about it? My name is Lee Martin. I'm a member of the National Federation of the Blind, and yes, I am blind.
The National Federation of the Blind, Newsline, Indiana. Monthly report. With your host, Lee Martin, and co-host, Florence McSwine.
You want to know about Lee Martin? I have been working with Lee with the National Federation of the Blind Newsline, Indiana show for a little over 3 years. Lee is a very innovative man.
Florence said that about me.
And he just knows how to make things work.
What's really nice is what we do together.
We want to welcome our guest back to the National Federation of the Blind Newsline, Indiana show. Ms. Rhonda Chapman, thank you for coming on again and sharing your reality with us. Your road to independence.
Independence is what I've been blessed with, and I'd like to share that independence with others.
I work out at a gym that I kept seeing this blind fellow come into, and with his cane, and he would walk back into the locker room and go about his business of exercise and cleaning up afterwards and go on home. And his independence was amazing to me. And then I saw him back in front of his locker room, and he was shining his shoes, and I thought, this is a guy that I've got to meet. And so I went up to him and said, I introduced myself and said, you're blind. He says, yes, I am. He says, and you're shining your shoes. Why are you shining your shoes? And he says, he looked up at me and he said, like, well, I want to look good. That's just Lee Martin. His shoes have to look good, even though he can't see them.
Lee wasn't born blind. He lost his sight in his mid-40s due to a condition called phlebitis.
In June of 1999, I was 46 years old, and I lived a fairly productive life up until that point. And while working at Daimler Chrysler, I lost my sight. And then I lost my job. And it wasn't fair, so I took Daimler Chrysler to court.
One of the toughest things about being blind is the ability to get employment. The unemployment rate for people that are blind is over 75%.
The legal case against Daimler Chrysler received national exposure. It opened my eyes, and I got involved with the National Federation of the Blind to help others achieve independence. And one of the ways that I do that is through a program, the NFB Newsline.
Hoosiers can hear Indiana magazines, circulars, national magazines, and information from across the globe. Learn more by calling 855-963-6476 or visit nfbnewsline-in.org.
It gives them an opportunity to have all this information right there at their fingertips.
What would you like to do?
Read the New York Times.
Reading in New York Times dated September 25th, 2020.
A person that's informed, they make informed decisions. And this service helps allow that.
There are so many things that Lee is so passionate about.
Education of our youth, as well as education for our adults.
The right of blind and visually impaired citizens to vote is guaranteed by the United States Constitution.
And when it comes to voting, blind people would love to vote independently, and the technology has to be developed for that. Now, as far as employment with the blind, we're not asking for any more or any less, but just a fair shot. And that fair shot comes with creating the opportunities, the proper training that we need, the proper technologies that we need, so that we can work independently.
This is Studio B at WHMB TV 40, and this is where we normally would produce the National Federation of the Blind Newsline show.
We want to welcome you back with Pastor Melinde.
And of course now, since COVID hit, now we have to do things a little differently.
We want to welcome you to the National Federation of the Blind Newsline Indiana show.
Does Lee Martin let any dust settle on him? No way.
As busy as Lee is, he takes time to have fun. And he knows how to dance. And he knows how to celebrate life in a wonderful way.
The bottom line about Lee Martin is he is a joyful, encouraging, and professional activist.
There's an old Chinese proverb, be not afraid of moving slowly, but be afraid of standing still. I kind of like that.